What's up, everyone? This is Brad Strom. I am coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee, and this is my entry into the next Back of the Binder challenge using Grapple. My son and I have been playing since release. Enjoy the game a lot, especially now since we're stuck in the house. And just wanted to shoot our first video. This is actually my first post to YouTube. So, with all that being said, let's show you what's going on with this deck. Obviously, we have the main character, Grapple. Here he is. 12-star guy, starts in truck mode, 5 attack, 12 health, and 2 defense. We know that by now because we're using him. We're going to use that back ability some of discarding our hand to do 4 damage, but not a lot. We are mainly focusing on this side because this deck is going to be called Grapple Automatic. And so we want to make sure this ability goes off every time. So when we get to the battle cards, you'll start to see that works about 99% of the time. Maybe not that high, but a lot, especially if it gets a little bold. Also, was really intrigued by David's Orlando PPT deck that he used Demolisher and Lionizer in with all the orange and the black. And so that's the route we went with this. And with that, we bring in our second character, Demolisher. Really don't care about that side unless we can get a composite armor on him. We're more concerned attacking with his bot mode. And so that's why he's in the deck. Against strong aggro decks, he may only survive one time, but he can do a really big punch on that one turn he is there. Now, like that deck, I had Lionizer on here, but Lionizer was not quite hitting how I wanted him to. He was real flimsy. It was really low health. And so we needed somebody a little beefier to fill that slot. And so we brought in Captain Impactor, who in tank mode can lend bold to my other characters, and in bot mode gives bold to himself. And so that rounded out our team. Once we put him in, it started clicking very well. And really enjoy playing this deck. So with that, I want to show you the battle cards. We'll start off with our upgrades, and starting with armor. Now you're going to see a theme coming pretty soon here. Our first battle card is composite armor. Also got our nice yellowed sleeves to go with the construction theme. We want to use this on our 2 tanks. It's a really great card for them. We also like that orange and black pit there. So we're going to put that one in first. 3 copies of that. Also got a Terrifying Resilience. 3 copies of that. Don't really play that much, if at all. The tough doesn't really matter except to maybe sift for a card we might want to pull later. And that's our only armors. Going into utilities, we got 2 copies of Backup Bag, 3 copies of Immersed in Shadow to give us a little stealth, a spare parts, get them there, and that is our utility set. And finally, our weapons, we got a full set of attack drone, a full set of combat dagger, giving us that bold one that really is enough to get Grapple to trigger his ability that much more. So not bad to put on him. And then finally, 2 copies of Power Punch to give us that bold 3. And I have used Backup Bag to some good extent when I want to keep that Power Punch, keep it from going back in the deck since it's just 1 orange, and able to just scrap Backup Bag instead. So Backup Bag has gotten a little play in this deck. 20 of our upgrades in there, so that means 20 actions. We're starting with Escape Route. We do have a full set of that. Escape Route's been really helpful to get Impactor flipped to his bold lending alt mode when we need that. And so that's been a hugely helpful card. We want to see that early and often, so we've got 3 copies of that. Also, as a one of, we got a copy of Espionage. Always a good card to have. Again, still fitting with that need for bold. We've got a full set of Fight for Position coming in for a little extra bold too when we need that. Next, this deck does need a little bit of sifting and a little bit of deck sticking, so we've got a full complement of secret dealings going in the deck. Let us draw one, plan one when we need it. Next, this card we can't play, just like in David's deck. There are two in there, mostly because I only have two. Opportune Repairs coming in for its orange and black pip. We have a full set of Rock Toss, and there have been quite a few games where that one damage does come in pretty handy, so we keep that one in there. Next one, Supercharge, for that big burst of bold. We got a couple copies of that for when we need that one. And let's get them straight in there. Finally, 3 copies of Wedge Formation to round out our deck list. Wedge Formation is a great card. Love that green pip, but again, we really like that orange and black. So going into a little bit of strategy, now that all the battle cards have been revealed, you can see there's a very common occurrence of black-orange double pips and white-green double pips. Basically, this means that if I flip a white, I am going to get that +4 ability with Grapple. Very rarely will we not. If I get a little bit of bold, I'm definitely going to flip green, white, and orange, black. And those are the only color pips that are going to show up. The rare occasion we've got the 2 supercharges and the 2 power punches, that may mean I just get a single pip color. But for the most part, we're coming in there with just what Grapple needs, and that's that exactly 4 different colors. So we'll get that exactly 4 different colors of white, green, black, and orange just about every time. Bold 1 is usually helpful. Without bold, it makes it a little less likely, although it still happens often, but just getting bold 1 from Impactor or a Combat Dagger is usually enough to push enough cards over the head to make sure Grapple gets his ability off. Other cards that have been important, like I said, Escape Route, hugely important. The Flip Impactor. Also, Immersed in Shadow, super helpful. There's been a couple times where initial swing against Demolisher hurt him pretty bad. Stuck him with an Immersed in Shadow so he can stick around for another couple big hits. So that's been super helpful as Grapple and Impactor are the heavy hitters of this deck for sure, as far as health goes. And so that's been a helpful card. Well-timed Immersed in Shadows help out a whole lot. And like I said, when I showed it, Secret Dealings just gives you that little bit of card sifting and deck stacking. So that's the deck, Grapple Automatic. It, again, very much lined up to make Grapple go off automatically. And in testing, not super competitive ready, but we have taken down a Galaxy Prime deck with this that definitely not the Energon Invitational deck, but a good deck with a lot of Pierce power. And so enjoy playing this deck. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you like it. Vote for me. And thanks for letting me partake in the Back of the Binder Challenge Grapple Edition.